Okay. Today we're going to talk about why you shouldn't be a poor listener. Good morning, millionaires. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration expert. I'm a self-esteem development specialist. My company just made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America. You know, we ain't just talking. This is like we're downloading it. You know what I mean? And just giving it to you. But enough about me. What's up with you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to know what kind of business you got. We want to know how you help people. How do you help change the world? Because that's important to me. I'm here to support entrepreneurs. I don't care what kind of business you're in. I don't care whether you're just getting started or whether you're starting to establish kind of like a client base. We're all trying to get a little bit better. We have something called the Kaizen Academy. It's based around the fact that every day you got to get better. Hey, Nene was first. Good morning, Nene. That's what I'm talking about. Mrs. Goins in the house. What up, Allie? Yeah, Coach Spence in the house. Let's get it. What up, Jess? Hey, Jess and Smitty. I'm telling you, y'all better remember them names. Ocala, Florida in the house. But yeah, this Kaizen thing can change your life, man. Because all we're saying is that if you'll improve 0.1% every day, then what happens is you've improved 2% a month. And that's if you only do weekdays. 0.1% every weekday, Monday through Friday, which is when I come to you. That means you improve 0.5% a week. That's 2% a month. That's 26% a year. That means every 3 years, you double your output. You double your performance. Or you double your income. Hey, we call that Kaizen. You know what I mean? We call that Kaizen. The Pad Boys in the house. My man Big Perk. What up, homie? Mama Mahassan in the house. Hey, Jazz 'em Up Photography in here. Let's go. Let's go. I never knew you were a private chef, Jess. That's cold-blooded. I never even knew that. Okay. All right, let's get it, y'all. Nene said she helped people with the, hold up, let me put that back up there. Nene was first. I gotta make sure she get her shine. Loose skin, loose body fat, cellulite. She helps to increase butt size, right? Thank you for your service. I'm just playing. Experienced body contour artist and owner of Body Goals Atlanta. Let's get it. My man Damon in the house. Hey. How y'all feeling this morning? Okay. Let's get it. Yeah. Queen Fluff Boutique. You know, she got a whole boutique for plus size ladies. I'm not sure if it's for plus size fellas, but we gonna get it. My man Donald Coleman is in the house. Let's get it. My man JG is in the house. Let's get it. Hey, let's get it. Now here's a little hack. What some of us might want to do, right, is start saving what you do in your comments. So that way you can post that. I know I'm crazy, dog. That way you start realizing, I want you to start, oh snap, it's 7:30. Why y'all ain't tell me it was time? Let me call in on this live line, y'all. Here we go. Let's get it.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place.
Welcome, Dwight.
Right time, because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Please enter your. Thank you. Please announce.
My man
yourself.
P.O. in the house.
I got a.
All participants are muted.
Let's get it.
Entry and exit tones are off.
That's right, Allie. That's exactly right. That's a fair assessment, Queen. All right. So, listen, y'all. My name is Haziq Ali. I want to say good morning, millionaire. Did I send something out on the text message system about what today's topic was about? I can't even remember. So I'm gonna send it out now just to make sure. If you haven't joined the text message system, I highly suggest you try it out because we send you videos every day. We send you quotes. And in theory, what we're supposed to do, right, is send you a reminder about what the topic is. You know what I mean? In theory. But being that I'm only human, as most of you know from all the mistakes I make and all the places that I could be better, I messed up this morning and forgot to put it in the thing. So I'm sending it out now. Hope everybody's feeling good this morning, though. One word. How has your week been so far? And what is everybody doing for leverage over Labor Day weekend? What's everybody doing? Anybody doing anything cool? Man, I'm a wild boy. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Anybody doing anything cool for leverage over Labor Day weekend? K. Nicole in the house. What's cracking, Queen? He said, no leverage but Disney. Hey, man, mask up. I don't care what Future say. I don't care what Busta Rhymes say. Appreciate that, P.O. All right, it's 7:33. Let's get this party started. So, if you follow me on Facebook, and if you don't follow me on Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is, please turn on your notifications. I believe that you can turn them on by clicking the little upper right thing there, and you can click it on. That way you always see when we are talking about the topic the next day as well. But I put up this observation. I don't know how many of y'all felt me on it, but I was like, how many times do you hear somebody refer to somebody who doesn't listen well as a bad listener? You don't really hear that, right? You always hear them say this person's a poor listener. Ain't that cold? That they're a poor listener. I find that interesting, right? And then we can go deeper, right? We can talk about how POUR is an acronym. Y'all ever heard this? POUR stands for passing over opportunity repeatedly. Y'all heard that? Passing over opportunity repeatedly. That's a POUR. That's POUR. And then I think it's interesting that they say you're a poor listener. Millionaires, do you ever walk away from a conversation feeling like you haven't been heard? That the other person really wasn't listening to you? If so, you are not alone. Michael Jackson voice. But what's crazy, y'all, is that most people really feel like they're good listeners. Most people swear they rank high on the listening skills list. Isn't that funny? I think that's really funny because they did this study at this university where they surveyed like more than 800 people, and a very high percentage of them ranked themselves as being at least good or better listeners than their coworkers. Now, you and I both know intuitively this can't be true, right? We know this can't be true. In fact, from my experience, I'd say that the majority of us could use a major tune-up when it comes to listening skills, when it comes to even caring about listening to others. And the good news I got for you this morning is that ain't nothing but a skill. Talent is overrated. Skill, y'all. Skill. The ability to take your desire, your dedication, your focus, and your pure force of will to improve in a certain category. Listening is a skill that can be taught if you have the desire and if you have the discipline to practice. If you can get out of the narcissism of believing that you're the only thing that matters, that it's all about you, right? That somehow your opinion ranks higher than the other person, right? I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm about to give you 5 listening skills that the wealthy utilize to create better lives for themselves. My business partner, is one of the most incredible listeners that I've ever met. And I think it's because that he's been married for almost 15 years. Because he shared with me the other day that it wasn't always that way. He shared with me the other day, like how, you know, I guess it was probably a couple months ago. We had all gone to dinner and stuff. And, you know, they were just pouring some relationship game into us. And they both admitted that in the beginning, they were horrible listeners of each other because they both came to the relationship as kind of like alphas, right? Alphas. And alpha makes it sound really noble and powerful. But really what we're talking about is a person that grew up in such a way that they felt they had to take care of themselves. So what happens is maybe you develop certain techniques where I better not pay attention to this person because they're trying to manipulate me. Or I better not talk to strangers because they're going to offer me some free candy and throw me in the back of a white van. One of them creepy white vans with the free candy on the side. Right? Who knows what kind of psychological stuff created this particular way of dealing with the world? But here's what I know. Somebody write this in the comments. What got you here ain't going to get you there. Oh, you might be doing pretty good now, but if the next level is what you're looking for, it's going to take a next level of personal development. Am I making sense to somebody out there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 different skills that you can work on that will help you increase your listening skills. If you're ready for the first one, give me a number 1 and a share. Give me a number 1 and a share. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. What got you here ain't going to get you there. Yeah, facts. What got you here ain't going to get you there. Is that a fact, Cheryl? Is that a fact, Brittany? Let's get it. Let's get it. Appreciate that, Kay Nicole. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, Dwight, welcome, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, here's the first one, everybody. Make eye contact. Make eye contact. I'm going to say it a third time. Make eye contact. Good eye contact demonstrates genuine interest in what the speaker is trying to share with you. It shows you really care. Maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but in solitary confinement, what most of the people report drives them crazy is the lack of eye contact. I mean, some of the prisoners will draw eyes on the wall just to feel the remembrance of what eye contact used to feel like. But what they report is that without eye contact, they start wondering if they're even really alive, if they're delusional. Millionaires, make eye contact. Think about how you feel when somebody looks you straight in the eye. Think about how you feel when they look you straight in the eye while you're talking versus people who don't. People whose eyes are wandering in the conversation. You ever been at a networking event, right? And you talking to the person and they all doing like this while you talking? Y'all ever been somewhere like that? They look at you every now and then, but mostly they looking around like there's something more interesting in the building. Lame. That's lame. You know what I mean? Give the person eye contact. Because if you've ever felt somebody's eyes wandering while you were talking to them, whether it was in the office, whether it was at a party, whether it was a friend or a family member, you notice intuitively that one action says, I care and I'm listening to you, and the other action transmits the exact opposite message. Millionaire Stephen Covey, self-made billionaire and college professor, right? Really, I should say that in the other order. College professor and then self-made billionaire. He said something ill. He was like, most people don't listen with the intent to understand. He said, most people listen with the intent to reply. And if you're going to be like most people, you're going to be poor. If you're ready for number 2, give me a number 2 and a share. Everybody with me so far? Poor listener. P-O-O-R. Poor listener. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, think about how you feel. Think about that. That's exactly right. Yeah, appreciate it. What's up, Diamond? Diamond done made it in. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Zave? My man Zave checking in. Man, y'all got to start tuning in earlier so we can know what kind of businesses y'all got. My man Al Terry in the house. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Here's number 2. Ask only one question at a time. Ask only one question at a time. The first rule of thumb about asking questions is to ask no questions until the speaker is finished with his or her thought. Now, that's going to be hard sometimes. I think that some people have more of a gift of gab than others, and they will ramble on incessantly. Sometimes you almost feel you're being, I don't know, you ever been out somewhere and then they just catch you on the phone, or they catch you and then they just keep going, man. They just keep going. But see, that conversation is not the time to like interrupt them, et cetera, and so forth. Now, it's going to take some personal development, and I'm talking to myself too. Let's be clear. But what I'm saying is, you got to remember that for the next conversation. Don't be rude in this conversation, but next conversation when they call, maybe you be like, hey, I'm on the phone. Can you text me? Maybe it's not yours to correct them with the fact that they ramble on incessantly. Now, if it's your loved one, then hey, that's just your test from God for you to get more patient, right? Sometimes, you know, we pray for patience, right? And we forget that the way you get patience is getting your current level of patience tested, right? That's how you grow your capacity, testing your limits, right? That's how you stretch, is when you're forced to, right? So I ain't going to go there right now. But what I will say is that the first rule of thumb about asking questions is to ask no questions until they're finished with their thought. When there's a pause in a conversation, some people seem to keep on talking like they're breathing through their nose while they're talking. I think that was me and Mr. Terry that was on the phone. I was like, man, this dude would be an Olympic level swimmer. He don't even need to take a breath. It was crazy. But I'm crazy, actually. So who am I to throw stones? You know what I mean? But here's what I'll say. When there's a pause in a conversation, if you're lucky enough to get one, that's when you can slide in one question, and one question only, that has relevance to what the individual was discussing. If there are other questions you want to ask, you're going to need to table those. Stick a pin in them until there's another pause in the conversation. Continue to ask only one question at a time. This is also a really good discipline in learning, right? To not blurt out immediately what's on your mind. Have some self-control. Overcome yourself. Is that making sense? Yeah, Nene, we've all been guilty of it. I bet you there are people that think I talk too much. You know what I mean? In fact, I'm certain of it. Because I admit I could probably get a little passionate about certain topics. And then I may have, you know, another example I may want to use. or another story or another quote. It's got to be kind of hard dealing with me when I get a little passionate about something. So I'm talking to myself as well, right? But I'm just sharing with you the rules that the wealthy follow. I may be this way now, but I guarantee you, you come talk to me a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'm going to be a little better. I'm going to be a little better, right? Because I'm working on it every day. I ain't waiting on some show to change me. I ain't waiting on my favorite rap song to change me. I'm pouring personal development into myself. And because I keep on pounding these concepts in my head, before you know it, it's just a natural thing to do. Because I know you got to be before you'll do, before you can have. I have to become something different. I'm not a human being. I'm a human becoming. Somebody give me a number 3. I know this stuff is hard. I get it. These are disciplines, right? But I just want you to remind yourself it's possible. Give me a number 3 and a share. I just want to remind you it's possible. Self-discipline. Self-discipline. The ability to stick to your commitment even when the emotion you committed in has passed. Self-discipline. The ability to stick to a commitment even when the emotion you committed in has passed. Here's number 3, y'all. Pay attention. We kind of talked about this a little bit with the roaming eyes. There is no task, probably, in this society today that is harder than paying attention. You know, they say 20 years ago we was getting 500 messages. Today we get thousands of messages a day. I always laugh about the fact you'll be at the gas pump and they start playing commercials. I mean, you cannot escape this stuff. There's a little ad on the gas pump handle, and then they start playing a little TV monitor, depending on what gas station you go to. Millionaires, paying attention is something that will make you rich because no one else does it. Pay attention when somebody else is speaking. It's a learned behavior. And when you feel your mind starting to wander, take a deep breath and refocus yourself on what they're saying. Gently tell yourself to refocus. We talked about this the other day. We're my homegirl, Vita Lachey. We was talking about how you got to overcome yourself, right? Because your body should be like your pet. You know how you tell your pet, sit down, you know? We're going to do this, then we're going to get it right. What if you start to treat yourself? Because a lot of us, our body is stronger than our mind. You hear me? Because our body has been conditioned. Now the body just do it without even needing us to think about it, right? Now that's good if you talk about remembering to blink and remembering to keep your heart beating so your blood pump. That's good your body do that. But I'm going to tell you something. If your body is stronger than your mind, the servant has just become the master. Millionaires, pay attention when somebody's speaking. Initially, you might find your mind wandering. It might wander several times during the conversation. But if you're vigilant about gently pulling your attention back and listening to the individual who's speaking, you're going to experience significant improvements and something crazy going to happen, y'all. You're going to be like, damn, they actually had a point. Can somebody give me that in the comments? Because I bet you don't say it enough. Damn, they actually had a point. When's the last time you said that? Damn. I never thought about it that way. Your brain has 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Here's the cold part, y'all. Most of those thoughts are the same exact thoughts you had yesterday. And I said it once, I'll say it again. If you aren't defined by a picture of the future, you're going to be contained by the pictures you have of the past. How do we begin to be defined by? It's from the new stuff. You're never going to get rich from what you already know. You get rich from what you learn. You got to stretch yourself. Give me a number 4 in the share, y'all. Give me a number 4 in the share. You know what I mean? When's the last time you said that, right, Simone? I hope you're feeling good, Queen. Everybody put a prayer in the air for my homegirl, Simone Simmons. That's right. That's right. Man, y'all giving me these number 4s. I don't know if y'all giving me the shares. Appreciate that, Dennis. Which I don't want you. You know what I mean? All right, y'all must be waiting to share till it get good, but we already on number 4. If it ain't get good yet, then I just sucked today, man. Appreciate that, Perk. Straight up. Yeah, appreciate that. Prayers in the air for our homie. Yeah, you know we got you, Queen. You know we got you. All right, here's number 4. Here's number 4. Appreciate that share too, Simone. Simone threw it in the messenger group. I appreciate that. The universe gives to the givers and takes from the takers. All right, here's number 4. This is one of the 4 agreements that we were covering on Obsessed with Success yesterday until we made a quick left turn. I got a reason for why we did that. But we turned Obsessed with Success into 10 ways to spark your creativity. You know, every Wednesday we do Obsessed with Success. That's why you want to join the text message system, because we ain't playing. You know, you're going to get you're going to get this work. But last night we changed. But at first we're going to do the 4 agreements. And one of the 4 agreements is don't make assumptions. But that's also a rule of being a better listener. Don't make assumptions, right? My man Shiz checking in. Brooklyn, New York is in the house then, right? Yeah. Appreciate that, Felicia. For a lot of us, y'all, it's second nature to interrupt and make assumptions about what the speaker is saying based on our own experiences and our arrogance that we know what they was about to say. I am notorious for this. I am notorious for needing to work on my patience. That's why I know God sent me certain situations that will allow me to work on my patience, because I'm the type of person, I'm like, man, spit it out, man. And so what I'll do to help them get to it, I'll just finish the sentence for them so I can hurry up and get to what I want to say. But check this out. Appreciate that, Ashley. Thank you, Michelle. Everybody who shared the video, thank you so much, y'all. Here's what I want you to write down. This is a good one for your power book. Communication can't happen until the other person feels heard. Half the time, man, they don't even want your feedback or your quotes. They just want to feel heard. You know what I mean? So for a lot of us, it's second nature, especially if you are in personal development. We become like somebody who just found a new religion. And now we're telling everybody they're going to hell unless they doing what we do, right? Check it out. It is second nature, right? I got to do some thinking about what that term second nature really means, right? That's an interesting term to me. I got to think about that. That's one of the things you just say, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is that second nature? But at any rate, a lot of times we interrupt people and we assume that we know what they're going to say. But by doing this, you're showing that you're not listening. You're certainly not listening. How could you when you just cut them off and assume that you heard where they were going? You're inside your own head responding to how you would have felt or how you would have reacted. That's more self-absorption. It's critical to catch your inner voice when you hear it saying stuff like, she must have been real turned up off that, or I don't understand how she could do that, or wow, I bet she's happy, or I know exactly how she feels. You got to block all that noise out and actually listen. Rather than making assumptions when the person's finished speaking, you get to repeat back to them what they said and ask them if you understood correctly. Also, if you're confused or if you're curious, feel free to ask them something fly like, hey, so break that down for me, right? Or what did you mean when you said blank? Ask them for more detail so you can better understand them. Here's number 5. I got one more for you. So number 4 was don't make assumptions. Here's number 5, and then we gone. Here's the number to call in on the live line. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, that's an absolute fact. Simone, me and you both. Me and you both, Queen. Oh, my God. But we going to work on it. We gonna work on it. Yeah, Shiz, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, bro. The universe gives to the givers. Oh, man. See, I think a lot of the ladies' husbands do this. She's like her husband does this and drives her crazy finishing her sentences. That's what a lot of us do. We don't mean no harm. Yeah, Anna. No, I totally get how we use it as a colloquialism. I was more referring to the fact that, I just want to do, because, I just got to do the knowledge on why we call it second nature. Why we call it second nature. All right, it's affirmation time. Here's number 5, y'all. Don't talk unless you're asking a question. When there's a pause, if you get one, right? Don't talk unless you're asking a question or you're showing that you understand with the use of a few words like, yeah, or, oh, yeah, I get that. Or, where you're encouraging the speaker to continue with their thought, keep your mouth shut. So many of us believe, especially men, we really believe that by offering words of advice or offering words of solution that we're being helpful. But the truth is actually the contrary. Millionaires, what we end up doing is we immediately shut the other person down and we don't give them the opportunity to continue with their thoughts. Some people think by talking. They never do introspection. They never have some by their self. They never have a by their self meeting, is what I call it. And so when they're talking to you, they're getting it out, especially if you're close to them. I remember it was a few years ago, and somebody actually said to me, I forget where we were, but my homeboy was actually like, hey, Zeke, you talk too much, man. You need to listen more. And the words stung me, right? But it turns out to be some of the best advice that I've ever gotten, because you have two eyes, you have two ears, and you only got one mouth. God seemed to have a kind of math with that. It's almost like he's saying you need to listen and observe twice as much as you talk. Think about that. That is some of the best advice that anybody's ever given me. There's so much not to know, man. And you'll always learn more from listening than talking. You already know what you know. What we're trying to do is learn something. You never know how you're going to put this piece of what you're getting here with this piece of what you've gotten, form a new connection and change your life. You never know when you're going to put this piece of what you learn right here with this piece of what you're going to learn a little bit later today. You create a new idea that can change your life. Remember yesterday we talked about how rich people talk people. Poor people talk about people. They gossip with each other. They just discuss this other person and how this person's at the root of all their issues. Or they talk about this other person and how they wish that person would get better. Or how could they do that to that person? Or, you know? But that's the poor. Then you got the rich. They always talking about things. Oh, I'm going to get this car. I'm going to get this bag. But then you have the wealthy. They talk about ideas, y'all. And the thing about listening is that you're going to learn way more that helps you create better ideas than you're going to learn when you're talking. It's affirmation time, y'all. Repeat after me. I am so happy and grateful